And let's talk about The View, because we talked about Whoopi earlier coming to the defense of Beyonce. And now we got Sunny Hostin coming to the defense of her husband, as she should. But there's talking about that, and I didn't know this, apparently a couple of days ago. Remember that lawsuit that we was talking about, that there was a New York civil lawsuit which was accusing dozens of clinics and doctors of some type of fraudulent activity? Well, apparently the other doctors are about to settle, except Emmanuel Hostin. So he's facing his own solo suit, which I'm like, this sounds like some shit that Sonny done put his ass up to. He's like, I didn't do any wrongdoing, because that's her favorite word. So and so has denied themselves of any wrongdoing. That's what she reading her tight ass legal notes over there at The View. Well, now she knew I had to do that for her husband. So, according to reports, it says Dr. Emmanuel Hostin defiantly called himself the victim of a frivolous smear campaign last month after he was accused of providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for kickbacks in a complaint filed by American Transit Insurance Company in December. But the orthopedic surgeon now finds himself increasingly isolated after the vast majority of defendants have now offered to settle their cases, according to a new court filing obtained by DailyMail.com. Now, American Transit, which insures taxi company and Uber and Lyft drivers, announced last Monday that more than 141 of the 186 defendants named in the suit have agreed in principle to settle one of the largest RICO cases ever filed in New York. Now, the papers filed by the law firm Manning Cass did not specify which defendants offered to settle. I do have a copy of their paperwork. So, yeah, there it is. They also said Dr. Hostin has until February 10th to respond to the legal complaint. Now, in a statement by DailyMail.com, Hostin family lawyer Mark Garagos maintained that the surgeon had not been involved in any wrongdoing, and demanded American Transit issue an apology to Dr. Hostin and his family, saying, quote, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin should not have been named as a defendant in this lawsuit, and American Transit must dismiss him from the lawsuit with prejudice. And this is said by Garagos. Now, American Transit must offer a full and unequivocal apology to Dr. Hostin and his wife, Sunny Hostin, and their two children for this unfortunate mistake. Now, American Transit must also pay Dr. Hostin what he is owed for his medical services to the insureds, and substantial damages must be paid to Dr. Hostin and his family for reputational damage and emotional distress caused before they will consider any settlement. So I think maybe they're taking this in a different situation, because out of all the doctors that we're aware of, one of them is married to a successful TV personality who happens to be on one of the biggest daytime shows in the United States. Say what you want about The View. They're a bunch of damn clucking hens. They don't know what they're talking about. They give light mode teas when it comes to the politics. But Sunny Hostin is someone who is vastly popular on this show. And she knows a lot of people in a lot of places. So I don't know if this, if Emmanuel has been up to some shadiness. That's up for the lawyers and everything to work out in the court. And I'll definitely be following this story as it develops. But we should also remember, people are innocent until proven guilty. But, the people that hate Sunny Hostin, the Trump people, the ones, the Trumpers, we want to call them the maggots, because of how she goes hard on him and calls him out on his BS, which he's literally attacking our First Amendment free speech rights as we speak. Yeah, Google Schmogel is happening in real time. He's trying to violate our right to free speech in a lot of, especially if you want to talk about Palestine. They're flagging people for it. So they also said that American Transit must offer a full and unequivocal apology. American Transit must also pay him what he's owed on his medical services. Now, Daily Mail also broke the news last month that Hostin and his medical practice had been named in the lawsuit and accused of getting kickbacks for performing surgeries and submitting fraudulent bills. Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries. This is what the lawyer said on in their December 17th filing. American Transit was then billed in exchange for kickbacks and / or other compensation, which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions. Well, I would say that everything has got to have a digital or maybe even a paper trail, correct? So I would think that if this is all true, there needs to be paperwork in place where there's evidence of the matter. And if there's evidence, bring it to the judge. Bring it to the runway. Runway. Bring it to the floor, as they would say in the ballroom. So now another Hostin attorney, damn, they got a multitude of attorneys. I guess when you in this situation, you got to have more than one. So, after the whole lawsuit, the Hostins went on the offense because, Sunny Hostin being an attorney herself, I believe that she mostly worked in sex crimes. She ain't playing when it comes to this. And, like I said before, she knows a lot of people in a lot of high places. So she's going to get the best of the best to represent her husband. So another Hostin attorney, Daniel Thwaites, told DailyMail.com in early January that his client denies each and every allegation and called the lawsuit a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit by a near bankrupt insurance carrier. It is meant to intimidate and harass doctors from collecting for care given to American Transit insureds and their passengers. Now, he and Hostin has an impeccable record, adding, he said that they have an impeccable record. American Transit has rushed into the lawsuit without ever conducting an examination of Dr. Hostin or expressing any concerns to his lawyers. The real story here is about an insurance carrier abusing the legal system to limit and restrict health care benefits to its insureds and its passengers and write off its proper obligations. This feels very Luigi Mangione-esque when it comes to this. And it's funny because when we talked about this before, I pulled up this clip of Sunny talking about, and I wish I would have had it with me, but it's a separate video. Y'all can look it up over on the channel. I did put it as a separate segment where they were all at the round table. Well, they were at the table, the Hot Topics table, and they were talking about Luigi Mangione and this whole thing. First of all, I hated the way that majority of them were going in on it because it felt very much like, oh, y'all were anti-Luigi and y'all were pro these corporations, which sounds about right because when you work for legacy media, of course, we already know what side you're going to take instead of having a real practical conversation about how we have one of the worst healthcare systems in the country. So having that conversation, I know it's hard for a lot of y'all, but maybe it's not because they can't relate. When you're dealing with a bunch of rich people at a table and doing a daytime talk show, they can't relate to the rest of us and what a lot of us are dealing with in regards to having crappy healthcare. So during the segment, when they were talking about Luigi, Sunny did mention some stuff that was going on in regards of how her husband has to fight with a lot of these insurance companies when he's doing surgeries. So maybe from that situation, when her talking about that, they decided to come after them. I know some people say, oh, she kind of just snitched on her husband when she brought that up, but I don't feel like that's what she did. I feel like she was addressing that we have a flawed medical industry system that needs to be corrected. We should have free universal health care. There should be no reason why people literally have to go bankrupt just so they can live. That makes no sense to me because these insurance companies basically want to rip you off and rob you blind. So they got a lot of blood on their hands with this. The insurance company, not Sunny, and her husband. So I will definitely keep you guys abreast of this story as it develops, but I definitely want to hear from you what you guys think of this story, whatever your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments down below.